Okay. Hey, Jen. Good morning. Well, good afternoon for me. I'm in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Good morning to you.
Good afternoon. Good morning to me.
So we're actually streaming live today on YouTube. And for those of you watching from my channel, this is my colleague, Jennifer. And she's also with PGI, but she's also a Reiki master. And we normally just jump on together, usually on a Monday, and discuss different topics that our clients go through, that we go through, and that we think would bring great value to anyone that's listening, to everyone, basically. And today we're talking about persistence. So, Jen, big topic.
It is a big topic. And whenever we had first kind of talked about persistence, and whenever I first went through the TIR program, I thought, well, I've always been a persistent person in my life as far as, my career went, and thought this was a topic that I probably didn't have to pay much attention to. But as I read through these, because, we're continually looking over materials, there's so many things in it that you can pick up and utilize that I realize how important it is for everyone, whether they think they're persistent already. This is definitely a topic worth looking at, because there's so many things you can do to increase that persistence and really get motivated and continue to working towards your dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. When I thought about the topic, because we know what the meaning is, I decided, let me just look up the general meaning on Google. And Google, the meaning that came up was persistence. It means the habit of staying the course of action despite any difficulty, despite opposition. And so it means to stay the course. You make things happen, you pursue your goals and dreams despite any adversity, despite the paradigms, another big topic. So you basically put aside anything that comes in your way. And when you mention for thinking into results, it's so true, because you've been very successful in your career, likewise, but this is something that we've never done before. So a lot came up, a lot of different thoughts, a lot of different challenges came up, and we're still standing, we're still staying the course, and I'm so proud of us.
Yes, absolutely. And I was reading through Think and Grow Rich, the book there, because there's a title in there called Persistence. And there's so many great things. I mean, do we just want to jump in what the 4 main topics are for how to develop persistence? Because I think that's a good starting point, good information for everyone to hear. So the first one here is a definite purpose backed by burning desire for its fulfillment. So that's the first thing that people have to have in order to develop the persistence and keep going with the persistence.
Yeah. And just to point out to anyone that's listening, in my book, that's on page 236. Is that the same for you, Jen?
It is not. My book is really old.
Oh, but that's good.
This version, yeah. I got this back in college and I kept it all these years. I think I read it once until a couple of years ago, and then I picked it up again and thought, wow, I had this the whole time.
Yeah.
Because now I'm looking at it every day. So any comments about that, Cyreta?
Yeah, we're talking about definiteness of purpose, right? And definiteness of purpose is, as it says, purpose. Why are you here? What do you believe your contribution is to yourself, to your family, to your friends, to mankind? How can you make a difference in this world? what is that one thing that you are meant to do? What is that one thing, that desire within you that you say, I'm so good at this, that this is the reason why I'm here?
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's super important. And that's why whenever we talk with people, we really try to zone in right up front. What is your goal,
Mm,
right? So that can be in front of us the whole time. What's that goal that we're really, really wanting for ourselves
mm,
whenever we dig deep? Look at the things that we've always been good at in life because we were supposed to discover those things. It wasn't by accident. So the number one, the definite purpose backed by discerning by a burning desire for its fulfillment is super important.
mhm.
Um, that
Yeah.
goal.
And if it's a burning desire and it's definite, then someone doesn't go back and forth trying to figure out, is this what I'm supposed to do? And that's how a coach or a mentor comes in, because the coach and the mentor can really get deep and, dig deeper within you to find out, is this what I'm supposed to do? Is this really my burning desire? And can solidify that idea that you might have
Mhm,
within you or within your mind, the ideas that are lingering. And so you really polish it off. So I really love these words, definiteness and also burning desire.
mhm. Yes, because you need that to keep going, right? It's something that
Mhm.
you really want. The second one here is a definite plan expressed in continuous action.
Mm.
A definite plan expressed in continuous action. So, one of the things that we do and that we help other people do is one, kind of coach them through, you know, pulling out what is that plan. What I'd like to say is, your goal and that desire that you want will always be there. But you got to have some sort of plan in place to get there. I do believe that the plan will change
Mhm.
um, once you start once people are able to start using their intuition, but the
Mhm.
plan at least gives you a starting point so you can start making an inspired action for that day.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. So the plan can change, but the goal doesn't,
Hmm.
which is why the definiteness comes back in. So the definite goal, the plans can change. And I love that part that you mentioned about intuition, that the intuition is what can help to change or modify the plans. So I've been maybe I've had experiences where I think, okay, this is the plan that I'm supposed to execute, and I'm doing a lot, but I'm not doing it in a certain way. And this is something that Bob used to talk a lot about, right? So people might think, oh, but I have my goal and I have my plans and I'm working towards my plans, but it can also not be the right plan. And that word that, you mentioned, Jen, intuition. Your intuition is that certain way how you're supposed to do it. And this is so good. It's really, really so good for persons to think about and to dig a little deeper in. And a question just came to my mind. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it. How long do you think someone should be working on a plan?
Well, I think sometimes we get ourselves into planning so much that we don't take any action. And I
Mhm.
know in the past I have done that, you know, but I think it's important to, kind of go, we go through the course right up front, trying to think of what that plan is. But you've
Mhm.
got to start taking action immediately. So you don't want your action to be halted because you're spending all your time planning. The
Mhm.
action is so important.
Yeah.
So work on that plan, but immediately take action. So, and that's what number two says, a definite plan expressed in continuous action. So every day, there should be some inspired actions towards your goal.
Yeah. So even though the plans, like in my book, it says, even though they may be weak, and impractical, you continue because you're going to develop your persistence. And a tip that we got was like the night before to write down 6 ideas or 6 steps that you want to take towards your goals. So it could be steps towards your plans. And then you execute them in the morning. You do them the night before, because when you fall asleep, you're actually giving that message to your subconscious. And you wake up with that on your mind that, okay, this is what I'm going to be working towards.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. All right, and then the third step here is a mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, including negative suggestions of relatives, friends, and acquaintances. So a mind closed tightly against all negative.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
And I would say, that is part of developing that mindset, to really focus in on what you want, to be able to spend that energy towards your inspired dreams, and to be able to shut off all negative influences.
Mm-hmm.
And that requires a little bit of time with how you're thinking. But that's the goal, that's the key to getting to some of these goals that we have.
Mm-hmm. And that is so crucial, because when you're able to shut your mind off, the people that are closest to you are actually ones that can influence you the most. And the fear of criticism is also one of the fears that stop most persons. So if you don't, as you say, develop over time, that with willpower, and to be able to close that off and develop for yourself the awareness that this is what I'm going after. And even though persons might have different opinions about what they think I should do with my life, I am going to continue because this is my path.
Yeah, and this is part of living from the inside out, right? We say search with inside. So living from the inside out is, what are your dreams and goals? And don't be influenced by the outside circumstances or the outside influences of what other people, may think of your dreams and goals.
Yeah.
Bob always said, don't let anybody steal your dream. And that's always etched in the back of my mind whenever I'm working towards my really large goal, is, not letting anybody steal my dream. So it's really working from the inside out. And that's a skill that that people must develop if they want to make these quantum leaps.
And if someone is in an environment that's not supportive, sometimes if you're living, like you said, Jen, for someone that's listening, if they live from the inside out, they actually start influencing their environment. So even though you might be in an environment that's not supportive, you changing will change that environment, and the people around you, eventually they will come around, but you really have to know exactly what you want and decide, make a decision. We did a fabulous video about that. That was our last video. Make a decision that this is what I am going after. This is what I am going to do. No one is going to take this from me. And as I change, I will influence those around me, or I will move out of that situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's important to be able to define what you want, and sorry, my camera keeps dropping here. Yeah. And to make sure that you're in control of you. So if there's things that are no longer serving you, maybe there's some things that you're doing, some places you're going, some people who are not supportive. Some of those are decisions that have to be made. Is this serving my higher purpose? And maybe it's good to pull back a little bit until you can really have the confidence to live from the inside out, and work on that mindset, and then, move forward with how
Yeah.
you feel.
Yeah. So good. Yeah.
Okay, so number 4 here is a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage one to follow through with both plan and purpose. And how do you feel about that, Cyreta?
Well, we have that between us because we are both on a similar journey, and the mastermind principle, which is what you just said, is really so important because then you have someone who understands also what you're going through and can reel you in if you get a little bit off track, right? And then also the skill sets, you can balance skill sets. And I love this principle so much because it teaches you how you tap into the mind of others. And it also brings awareness to the saying that, the people that you surround yourself with, you become more and more like them. And for me, you look for the beauty in everyone, but even more beautiful is when someone is pursuing their desire, they're going after their goal. That is such an inspiration. And to have people around that are doing that every day is, for me, a dream come true. So you're not pulling anyone along, it's you're walking together. Even if someone slips, they will catch you up. Sometimes they pass you as well, and then they pull you along them. That is just, it's more than teamwork. So mastermind, this principle I really, really love.
Yeah, it's been really important for me, as I pursue my dreams, is to make sure that I have that mastermind group is what you're calling it, and that's what it's called as well. But those friendly alliances, you and I getting together, talking, that helps. And then I have another goal, so I work with other people on the large goal. We don't have aligning goals exactly, but it's sort of like linking arms with people to say, yeah, I support you. You can do this.
Mhm.
And the other thing I noticed too is just in the thinking into results coaching, getting people together, like on a group call, everyone who's going through the
Mhm.
material. That's amazing because everyone has different goals because we're all different and
Mhm.
we all have different purposes in life. But it's a support system because everyone's rooting for people to get past some of their fears, to take that inspired action, to see where everybody is along their journey.
Mhm.
So being with like-minded people is crucial.
Yeah, yeah. And just to add quickly to that, there's something that you said that when you see, you mentioned, you point out more about the friendly alliance, which is true because if you have a company and you have other people working for you, it is so important that these persons are friendly towards your goal of your business. I have my own business as well, alongside being a coach. And the people that work for me, it's so critical that they are in harmony with the goal that I've set for the business. So really, really crucial for entrepreneurs, business owners, for everyone to have these alliances around you, people that really support you and in harmony with the thing that you most desire and you want.
Mhm. Yeah, that's so true. Now there's several highlights I have in this book that really stuck out to me, but there was the one that I think that a lot of people, most people, is the fear of criticism.
Mhm.
That's really one that I would say a large percentage of us have to really take a look at and figure out that mindset of how to not let that bother you.
Mhm.
So in my book, it says, Think and Grow Rich, fear of criticism, failure to create plans and to put them into action because of what other people will think, do, or say.
Mhm.
This enemy belongs at the head of the list because it generally exists in one's subconscious mind where its presence is not recognized. And that was part of things that you must be able to master in order to reach your goal, your dream goal. In order to make that quantum leap, you have to have that, close off any negativity. And you have to also realize that you have to keep going forward and not to worry about criticism of others. Don't let people steal your dream and continue to move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So true. This is, it's really a very, very, very good chapter. Another point I wanted to add is, how essential persistence is, because it also helps you in developing other intellectual factors. We mentioned intuition, but also your will, also the imagination and memory. And there's a difference, of course, between persistence and being stubborn. So, and Bob, I remember was asked this question once, like, what is the difference and how do you know when you're being persistent or when you're being stubborn? And he said, it's not the lack of persistence is not really the problem, is that people don't use their persistence for their goal. They use it for other things. So they don't use it in achieving results, but they stay stuck and they remain staying stuck into something that they don't want. So they become stubborn and they don't, as you mentioned earlier in the conversation, have this open mind to say, okay, am I getting the results that I want? If these are not the results that I want, can I be open-minded to have a conversation with someone who could make me see a different way, a different path to the thing that I want?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that explanation. Very good. All right. I mean, I think the 4, how to develop persistence is really the main points we wanted to get across today, right? I think that'll help a lot of the audience that's listening.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me maybe do a quick check to see if anyone, we didn't announce it, but just to see if anyone is online or if there are any questions.
How to develop persistence.
Okay. No questions coming in.
We had a little persistence today, right? Because
Yeah.
when we first got on, my internet is down. So it's like, well, we can figure this out. So I'm working off of my phone today, but the camera's kind of going down, but that's all right. We got it figured out.
Yeah, we really did well. Guys, you have no idea what was going on in the background. We could have given up, but we didn't. All right, so I am going to stop the live stream.
Okay.
All right, so thank you everyone for watching, for listening. Jen, any final words or thoughts?
Just that persistence, whenever Bob was mentoring us, persistence chapter is he would read this every year. He would take 30 days and read it consecutively for 30 days, the whole chapter, because that's how important he felt persistence was in order to obtain goals. And just being able to read it 30 days in a row, because it's probably about 20 pages long, that requires some persistence too. So I just wanted to point out, it's really important. You gotta keep persisting with your dreams and goals, and you'll get there.
Good. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.